Fabulous Lives of Bollywood Wives S2 Review. Mature, wild, independent women make for a total riot. The second season of Fabulous Lives of Bollywood Wives hit the RIOT screens today, and undoubtedly it is twice as dramatic as the former season. From divorces and menopause to on-screen intimacy and a quick trip to the wildlife, the show literally makes for a wild watch. What impressed us the most was how with utmost sensitivity the makers touched on the topics of menopause and divorce. The scene where Maheep Kapoor tries talking about menopause and female reproductive organs with so much gumption and boldness is one of the major highlights of the show. Following that, the quick trip of the four ladies to the country's popular gynecologist to know better about menopause helps bust so many myths related to the most important phase of every woman's life, menopause. Neelam Kothari Soni, Bhavna Pandey, Seema Sajde, and Maheep Kapoor are a total riot, and the second season speaks volumes of it. The Fabulous Lives of Bollywood Wives poster. Though the four are pretty different from each other, an amalgamation of maturity yet wildness in their own respective ways is what is common in them. Seema Khan is totally the Kapil Sharma of the season. For her one-liners, her sense of humor is mind-boggling. She is so easy with her humor that it just makes you laugh out hard. Alongside being a designer and a fabulous mother, I am sure she can ace the comedy genre too. Seema, who was a Khan in the first season, has now retained her maiden surname, Sajde, after filing for divorce from Sohail Khan. The designer talks about her tough divorce journey and the immense amount of guilt as a mother for putting her kids through the situation of dealing with separated parents. It all is beautifully and sensitively woven. Maheep, who received a lot of flack for being blunt and for constantly cussing in the first season, continues to do the same throughout the second season too. But this time, we also get to see a pretty sensitive and emotional Maheep, who talks of her turmoils in the marriage she faced years ago, and how she had walked from her marriage with Sanjay Kapoor, taking baby Shania with her. Kapoor admits to having forgiven Sanjay for the sake of her kids and states that it was probably the best decision of her life. Maheep also reveals about losing her house help Rekha, whom she considered her backbone, to COVID. It really breaks your heart knowing about the tough times everybody has faced during the pandemic. Further, Neelam, the prim and proper doll of the Bollywood 90s, is a lot more hot and happening in this season. Neelam, who was absolutely against the idea of kissing on screen, is seen giving a go-ahead for the same for an upcoming project Zoya actor offered to her. It's pretty amusing to see her stress out over it and practice the kissing scene again and again with her real-life husband Samir Soni, further irritating him completely. Bhavna Pandey and actor-husband Chunky Pandey add much glamour and oomph to the season by renewing their vows after 24 years of marriage. It's quite surprising to see their daughters Ananya and Risa, both belonging to the modern Gen Z, go yuck and all embarrassed towards the romantic wish of their parents instead of supporting them. Quite disappointing to see the girls, otherwise so modern, having a pretty odd perspective towards something so romantic and emotional, and more importantly involving their parents. Further next, the all-girls short trip to Jawai is a lot of fun to see Neelam and Seema get frightened out of their wits. Guest appearances by Karan Johar, Gauri Khan, Bobby Deol, Malika Arora, Ananya Pandey, Nirvan Khan, Manish Malhotra, and Vikram Fudnice up the entertainment quotient of the show. Another highlight of the show is the guest appearance of Ranveer Singh and how the four ladies drool over the macho man. The episode featuring Singh gives a quick glimpse of his upcoming movie Rocky Aur Rani Ki Pram Kahani, helmed by Karan Johar. Oh yes. How can we forget to mention Seema Daparia, the popular matchmaker from Indian matchmaking, who visits Seema Sajde trying to help her find a new and compatible soulmate to adjust for the rest of her life. Seema has a hearty laugh listening to Seema Auntie's concept of a happy marriage and all the efforts required for it. So a lot of twists and turns, drama, blind dates, many guest appearances, and majorly all first world problems. Fabulous Lives of Bollywood Wives S2 is a total entertainment package. The Fabulous Lives of Bollywood Wives Season 2 is an amalgamation of all things classy and massy, but with a lot of jazz and bling. Also, heard of Hottie at 40? This show proves it just right. And how.